Alright, this is going to be my video of the review of my brand new 2015 Oliver travel trailer. It's the twin bed floor plan, and this should probably be a pretty long video as there are a lot of interesting details. You can always fast forward through this to skip to the parts you're interested in, but we'll go around first around the outside, and I'll show you some of the things that I like about it. I'll try to point out things that are optional and not in the base package, because I've got pretty much all the options you can get, save a few. And then we'll go inside and I'll do the same. So it'll be a half and half. Alright, let's get started at the hitch, at the business end of this thing. This thing comes with what they call the Bulldog hitch. And you can see I've got my lock on there. I doubt anybody would really try to take it, but you never know. But anyway, I like this thing. Not only is it a cast iron hitch, it's very durable. It's rated for 7,000 pounds. You can see the ratings right on the front. But it's inherently safe the way this is set up. If you look at it, this collar pulls back, and then there's a clamp on the ball. Also, what I thought was interesting, this is a 2-inch ball, not a 2 and 5/16 that you see on big trailers or heavy trailers, but it's a smaller ball. So I found it to be quite easy to hook up to my Silverado. I'll have to unlock this to get it off, but anyway, it's fairly easy to hook up. There's really no way this is going to come off as opposed to some of the other types that you can get, so I was impressed with that. Also, if you remove these bolts, you can play with your tongue weight by moving this hitch coupler out towards away from the trailer and making this a longer arm, and it will lighten up the already, I think, fairly light tongue weight. This is around 400 pounds on a 5,200 pound trailer, so I don't think you'd really want to go. It behaves very well at this setup. So I have no desire to move it around, but somebody might. You do that at your own risk, of course, or have the factory work with you to set it up for your particular tow vehicle. You have 7-pin wiring, which is fairly common these days. One pin is for your, well, all the pins are assigned, but one, of course, is dedicated to a charging circuit to charge your onboard batteries. And then there's one for, and don't mind what I'm pointing to because I really don't know which one is which. But the other one is for you to control your trailer brakes. You have 4 electric brakes, one on each wheel on this trailer. Standard is a electric powered tongue jack. It's got a light, and you can move it up and down. It's got a little shoe on the bottom to keep from digging into the sand. It's got a level bubble on top to show you where you're set. I found it to be fairly accurate. You just want to be somewhere in the middle section. It's fairly forgiving. The only reason to be perfectly level is for your absorption refrigerator. But I found that if I'm anywhere inside this outer ring, it won't have any issues. Okay, let's take off this cover. It's a lightweight fiberglass cover, and this is where your propane bottles are. I better set the camera down. Okay, you can see I've got 2 30-pound bottles. Standard is a 25-pound, the 20-pound bottles, which are the little ones like you'd have on your barbecue. These are slightly bigger. They're and you'll see on some trailers they're narrower and taller, but these are kind of short and squat, but they're still the 30 pounds, so that's a lot of propane. But that was an extra. It's got an auto switch here. Some people argue that that's not really the best way to go. You can defeat this switch by closing the valve of the bottle you're not using. So when it does switch over, it doesn't automatically start coming out of the second bottle unless you open the valve. The reason you don't want to leave an auto switch just on its own by opening both valves is that it'll switch over by itself and you'll never know you're out of gas until you're out of gas. If you keep one valve closed, when it switches over and you don't have any gas inside, then you know, hey, I'm down one bottle and I better go get that filled. Then you switch it over, open the other bottle, and then you're probably good for a couple of weeks. Anyway, This is the generator power connector, and I've got it, as you see, connected to my shore power cord, but it auto switches inside between this power connector and the power connector on the side of the trailer. And why would you want this, you say? Well, a lot of people with pickup trucks will put a generator in the back of the pickup and secure it so it won't get swiped or roll around, and they're heavy and you don't want to move them around. So you get a short cord and you can run it from here into the back of the pickup. Now, you could opt, I guess, to run it while you're rolling down the road and keep something going in here, like the air conditioner or something, but it's just convenient if you're moving around a lot and, you know, maybe you're just stopping for the night, you want to fire up a generator and have some power. Using this connector is a really cool way to go. These are marine grade, really nice stainless connectors. The outside here twist locks, as well as, of course, the cord will twist lock, so there's no real just yanking that out. That's on there really securely, but that's a really, really nice fitting. I'm impressed with it. All right, coming around the trailer, of course, you've got LED lights everywhere. All the lights are LED. On this trailer, I've got a secondary awning. I wasn't sure if I would really use it that much, but I thought, well, if you can get one, I've never seen one before, offered on a trailer. I can see some potential in a hot climate of opening this somewhat and shading the windows or shading the area around the trailer. But this fitting here is to secure the arms for the awning. It cranks out. It's fully encased in metal, so the fabric is protected from the weather, and that you crank it out. It's not motorized. You crank it out all the way, and then you drop the legs down and you secure them here, or you can secure them, you can stake them out to the ground. This is a bathroom window that's all dual, heavy grade, dual pane windows. Very nice. My last trailer, what they call dual pane, was basically two pieces of glass just stuck together. This is a traditional dual pane, as you would imagine. It's two panes of heavy glass with air gap between them. And it really makes all the difference trying to keep the cold weather out. It's got LED outside lights on both sides of the trailer. It's got two big floodlights. Striping, it's vinyl striping, of course, over gel-coated fiberglass. With an Oliver, you pick what colors you wanted. I wanted this red and a silver. Those are my favorite colors. You choose that. It could be anything. There's a long catalog of color choices. I could have done Clemson purple and orange if I wanted to, but I didn't. But here's your main shore power connector, and like I said, these twist and open, and then it's got, you can see it's got the locking connector, and notice it's all stainless, all heavy screws with a gasket. I mean, that is not going anywhere. You got fiberglass fender on there. That's one piece that is secured to the body of the trailer. So I imagine if you had a blowout and this was damaged, you could just pull it off and get another one. All aluminum wheels, 16-inch LT truck tires. There's a lot of debate on forums about trailer tires. You know, they made trailer tires, or ST tires. In the theory behind them, they've got some features, like they're more resistant to scrubbing in turns and things, if you drag the trailer in a tight turn, and that's all well and good, but they're also made to a lesser standard because they don't consider lives at stake like they do with a passenger vehicle. So in my mind, an LT tire is a better tire. It's a more safe tire, I think. There's more longevity to them as far as miles. Granted, no trailer tire should probably go beyond six years, but I don't want to open a debate about tires. But in my mind, I'm happier with this. It's also, you notice, it's you don't see any weights. They're balanced just like car tires. All the weights are on the inside, so they're inherently smooth. When I towed this home from the factory, I was really impressed with the way this towed. It was smooth as glass, and as you note when I was showing you the front, I don't have any weight distribution or sway control on this trailer because it's not required. Underneath, you can see, here's a running light. There's outside ground lights all around the trailer. But this is a hull, this solid fiberglass body. This is a 7,000 pound all aluminum frame. The body rides on the frame. It's all isolated rubber here, see? You got shocks and leaf springs. Torsion suspension like on an Airstream might ride a little bit better. I don't know. I really don't have any complaints. The way this rides is smooth as glass. It doesn't wander. It pulls, true. But anyway, somewhere on here there some anodes for dissimilar metal reactions, but I couldn't point them out to you here. There's a weep point, I guess, for any moisture buildup in the hulls. There's nice stainless fittings. There's a few of them around the hull to get out any moisture that may accumulate on the inside of the hull, which is a pretty good idea. But anyway, up front here, there's that's the fitting for the black tank flush. We're under the bathroom area right here. So you just twist these off. They're really nice fittings. And if I could get it off. There you go. These, I took it off wrong. This comes off. This doesn't supposed to come off. Anyway, you hook your hose up there, and I've never used the bathroom, so don't worry. It's a good thing every other time, or even every time if you're really disciplined, when you dump the black tank, to connect a garden hose, not your water hose, but a garden hose to, I'll fix that later, to clean the tank out, and you'll not have any problems. These tanks only have sensors on the outside, they're not inside, so you don't have to worry about getting false readings over time with buildup inside your tanks. You'll notice I have the cover sitting over there. I bet that cover only weighs 8-9 pounds. It's bulky to take it off, but it's no weight at all. I wouldn't think about being concerned about that at all. This is the battery tray, and this is something I'm really happy with. You notice the marine fittings. You just pull it out. This is a lockable too. You can secure this. See this keyhole? That's for a lock. This key and the outside compartment key are one key you have, and then the front door key is a different key. So this whole RV only has 2 keys, which is good for simplification. I opted to get, standard is this compartment, of course, the tray, and a 12-volt battery, I believe, one. Then you have battery options. You can get 2 12-volt batteries. You can get 4 6-volt lead-acid batteries, which would be fine with this arrangement, or 4 6-volt AGM batteries. And they use Trojan brand, which is a good brand of battery. But I went with the AGM because I'm concerned about freezing. Where I'm taking this trailer, it gets really cold, and you can potentially freeze a lead-acid battery at really low temperatures. I've seen a bunch of arguments about, well, it has to be minus 70 degrees, but I had problems last winter at around minus 4, and I'm not living through that again. So I paid the money for the batteries. But you can see all really heavy gauge wiring, which has all been properly engineered. This should be more than adequate. Like I said, Trojan brand, very good batteries, and luckily there's a Trojan dealer right here in my hometown, so if I have any issues, I can get replacement batteries. But see, notice how easy this glides. That's 300 pounds worth of batteries on this little tray. So it's a very heavy ball bearing glides. It's a good piece of equipment. It's all vented. That's necessary for lead acid type batteries, not necessarily these AGMs because they don't vent, but down the road, if you were to want to upgrade to lithium batteries, you can seal this up and maybe put a heating pad in there to keep that compartment warm. You got a lot of options there, but at least you have a place for a good number of batteries. Alright, electric jacks. this comes with 3 electric jacks. Of course, you saw the one on the front, on the tongue, and there are 2 here on the back. You can see them down there. They are controlled by the switch in the outside compartment. And you'll see here, there's the switches, and now these are very strong jacks. In fact, they're strong enough, and the frame is safe enough to lift this entire trailer off the tires. Of course, you wouldn't want to do that without being properly blocked and secured so it doesn't roll. But in my mind, it's a lot safer than trying to use a hand crank jack on the side of the highway if you had a flat. Even if you have roadside, this will save you some time and also potentially damage to your trailer, because you don't want to jack this in an improper place. You'll torque the whole frame and cause a lot of expensive damage. So these are secure points to do that with, and just another convenience. Outside compartment, of course, insulated door, heavily secured by piano hinge, of course. These are your dump valves, gray and black. Gray and black. An outside marine type shower, hot and cold water, and then of course the switches I showed you. Now I got this outside compartment stuffed to the gills, but I don't travel light. I got some bottles and my bucket, I've got some bungee cords and my toolbox and my progressive dynamic surge suppressor and voltage regulator. I really recommend this device. It'll save you a lot of heartache if you ever have power surges or dips. It'll protect your trailer from some, less than standard campground power hookups. Anyway, this compartment, as you see, goes all the way in the back to the other side of the trailer. There is the furnace and the water heater over there, so it's short of the necessary depth for those. Those are in a sealed compartment, but I have got, and there's a well in the bottom, and of course a rubber mat floor, but I have 2 folding lawn chairs, a folding table, a campsite, one of those acrylic rugs you throw out, a Coleman grill in there, a toolbox, a lantern, and this other stuff that you see, and I still got room for my bucket. Put my bucket back in there, and I could probably squeeze the power cord in there. Now, up above, you see I've got a doorway, so under the sofa cushion, you can open this door and you could get in here. So if it's raining out and you want to get something out of the toolbox or out of the bucket, no problem. You just open that and you don't have to go outside. Again, this is lockable. It's got the keyhole there. This is the other support for the awning. Of course, LED lights, like I said, LED tail lights and blinkers. Big plus, 2 large backup lights. So when you put the back in reverse in your truck, it'll light this whole area, and you can see if you have a night arrival, you can see what you're doing. Over here is your freshwater tank and your city water connector. Now the freshwater tank has to be pressurized like your garden hose from your spigot at home. Of course, you use a proper hose for drinking water, of course, but there's no gravity fill on here. And there's another way to fill it, I'll explain in a minute, but you use either one of these connectors. This here is the overflow drain, I believe, for if you want to dump the tank. This is a connector for the cable TV service at the park, or as I'm using it, is the dish satellite antenna. And one thing that Oliver does is they have their standard option is a King Dome antenna. It's a permanently mounted automatic antenna on the roof, and they wire that in for you to the media cabinet. Well, I didn't want that because I have a dish tailgater that I like to use when I'm tailgating and other things. But also, I already had it, and I didn't want to pay money for something I didn't need. So this wire goes up to the media cabinet. But I opted for a new option that they offered, which was a powered TV antenna for broadcast TV that they put on the roof for me in lieu of the King Dome. And they wired it to a switch, so you could switch between this park outlet, they call it, or the antenna up top. Well, the dish tailgater does not like that arrangement at all, and I didn't talk to them about it. So, but I did remove a panel up there in the cabinet and found that the wire's up there. I could get to the wires, and I just pulled it off that switch and hooked it directly to my decoder. So now it has the proper direct link to the antenna, because it sends signal down and it sends power down to automatically move the antenna. So you really need to have an uninterrupted connection. But this outlet is good for it, and it took me 10 minutes to figure it out and to fix her up. Okay, of course, this is the spare tire cover. And I don't have my license plate on here, obviously, but under here is the screw knob, and you just take that off and pull this light cover off, and boom, you have a full-size spare tire on an aluminum rim. So you're ready to go if you have any mishap on the road. I won't take this off, but the only caveat is that the tire is one size down in height. That is, so it could fit in this well, because those are pretty large tires. But other than that, I mean, it is a spare tire. You'd have to get another tire when you had a chance, but anyway, that is in there. Okay, bumper storage. I am so impressed with this bumper. This is all hard, heavy, solid aluminum. I believe it's a hollow bumper. I mean, it's very substantial. It's beautifully polished, as you can see. You've got these two pins, and of course, doing this one-handed, it's a little tough, but you have to hold the lever in to pull it out, which I seem to forget to do. Anyway, and this drops down. See, it's all heavy welded. Anyway, look at all the junk I got in here. I've got two water hoses, a filter. This is the hose I use like to wash up around the trailer, but I also can use to do the black tank flush. And of course, I got a Rhino connector here for the dump. But here's your dump. Its connectors in here and protected. I don't really know the thinking design-wise why you'd want it in here. I don't think you have to worry about somebody tampering with this, but you never know. But it's also protected from road. You know, most of the trailers, they have them on the bottom somewhere, exposed. So if you hit something, you tear that all to pieces. There's no danger of that with an Oliver. Anyway, so this is, I don't know, this is a lip here. So it's about 4 or 5 inches tall, and it goes back about 18 inches. Okay, so you can see that it'll hold a lot of hoses. This isn't waterproof storage. You can see there's some venting there, so water will drain out of here. And of course, this doesn't have a seal, but it's good for wet stuff. I wouldn't put my electrical cords or a power surge suppressor in there or anything like that. You can see I've got 2 drinking hoses jammed up in there, and my filter. But notice I put caps on my filters. I probably should do something for my water hose. I mean, you got to be very cautious about mixing sewer and any water service. This is a hose I wouldn't be concerned with because it's for wash down and for flushing my black tank with. There are caps on this hose that I showed you earlier, so anything is contained in here. But I should take some precautions, either putting these in a bag or putting some connectors on there to protect those hoses from contamination. I don't want to get sick, that's for sure. This here is the winterization connector. What you do is you have a hose to your tank of the pink stuff, a bucket or whatever, and there's valves inside and a pump, and it will draw up. You turn that on, position the valves, of course, and it'll suck the pink stuff, the antifreeze, up through the system and out your outlets, all your faucets, to winterize it. But also, as I mentioned earlier, you can use this same system, maybe configured a little differently, to suck water out of a water tote. So if you're doing some extended boondocking and you don't want to drag the trailer to where you'd fill the 32.5 gallon water tank, you could drag a tote back to camp, hook a hose to this, and then proceed to fill the water tank with the onboard pump. So I thought that was kind of cool as an alternative, because I think most people would take a large tank, like a 50-gallon tank, in the bed of their pickup truck, go take it and get it filled, and you wouldn't want to have to rig up something to siphon that water into a gravity fill. I think this might be a better arrangement. Alright, let's look down the other side of the trailer. Some of these things are fairly standard for anything in the RV industry. This is your Suburban furnace. It's a 20,000 BTU furnace. I put these little Camco vent covers to keep the bugs from nesting in there, which a lot of people do. This is your Suburban 6-gallon DSI water heater, which is a standard thing in RVs. There's nothing special about that other than it works really well. You've got a 110 volt outside outlet. Of course, you got another jack, 16-inch wheels, as we pointed out before, and the fenders. These are your for your 3-way fridge. This is your exhaust vents, and there's 2 of them. They're basically for servicing. You don't have any reason to go in there. Of course, they're RVIA certified and inspected, and what I like about this thing the most is all of the basically jewelry on it. Beautiful grab handles, stainless steel door handle and locking mechanism, very robust bump stops, and stainless catch to hold the door open. I mean, most RVs, this is a cheap plastic part, but not an Oliver. Of course, it's a Fiamma awning, like I showed you on the other side. It's got 2 of the brackets to support the awning supports. As you can see, it's a Fiamma F45S, and of course you also have 2 LED floodlights on the outside. I'm going to attempt to climb this ladder and show you. Oh, before I show you up top, I'll point out this custom aluminum double step. They make these at the Oliver plant. It's all heavy aluminum, heavy plate, all welded out, welded to the frame, as well as bolted. This is just a robust piece of equipment. I'm really impressed with this. The non-slip was installed at the factory, came with it. I put my 200 pounds on here, and this is not going to bend or flex. This will last a lifetime. Very impressed with this. And of course, it weighs nothing because it's aluminum. Alright, let's try to climb this ladder. I'll show you up top. Here's where we get into some options that that I got. Mainly this 320 watts of solar. It's all mounted, bolted to the top of the RV, through bolted. You can see there's the distribution box, or the connector box. Also up here you see the powered Vanguard TV antenna, omnidirectional. And also you can see my Wi-Fi Ranger Sky box. Funny, last night I noticed I left it on, and it glows. There's an indicator light, so you know it's on, and it kind of glows at night, which I thought was cool. So the Sky, of course, the Vanguard, and the solar were extra cost items. The solar is not an inconsiderable amount of money. I mean, it's expensive to put solar on an RV as an option, but this system started out, they use an AM solar engineered setup, so I had a lot of confidence that it would be properly sized, engineered, the cable sizes would be correct. So I'm very happy with it. I know they source some of the parts now on their own. They put the same parts, but all the engineering work is done, which is the important thing. This is a Max Air fan. I'll show you how this works on the inside, but you see it's got an integrated cover. So as you open the fan, you turn it on, that cover articulates to protect the inside from any water coming in. But for traveling, it's nice, low, and compact. So it's a really nice item. I like it. Of course, you have the 15,000 BTU Coleman Mach 8 air conditioner unit. It's pretty quiet, and it has a heat strip built into it. That's standard. So it's more than an adequate air conditioner size for this little trailer. Also up top, well, you see the plumbing vent over here, and then there's the vent for the bathroom ventilator. which is something every RV has, of course. It's the size you find on casitas, and also on a B van. It has the same kind of venting system. But anyway, RV's a little dirty. It's been sitting out here a couple weeks getting it ready to go. We're going to head out tomorrow. But well, the other thing you see, there's my tailgater dome set up. There's really no good place to put this thing. It's kind of bulky. It's light. It only weighs probably 5 pounds. You have to tie it down so the wind doesn't take it. But that'll either ride in the back of my pickup truck, or I might put it inside and strap it to the table leg so it doesn't roll around. But that breaks my rule about everything having a place or it doesn't go. But I gotta have my satellite TV. All right, that's about all I can show you on the inside. I mean the outside. So let's go inside and see what I can show you in there. Of course, every Oliver has a screen door, and unlike some of the casitas where they're like a sliding door or a reeled up door, this is more of a traditional RV door, and it's got the nice bug protector so you can open the door without letting a lot of bugs in. Okay. One thing I discovered with these smaller trailers is there's no real good place to put the trash. So I just use a bungee and hang it from this grab hold. Maybe that'll make me more disciplined about taking the trash out every single day because it's kind of in my way. But welcome to my trailer. And let's see. What'll I show you first? Let's start with this nice closet. It has a place for the fire extinguisher. It's molded into the door. All the interior cabinets have these same nice stainless marine fittings that lock. Well, they don't have locks, but they lock the door in place. They were nice enough to mount these poles for the awning crank out for me in the corner here. That's so thoughtful. Putting them so they're out of the way, but I have 2 of them because I have 2 awnings. I really only need 1, but it's out of the way and you never lose it. But this fits in that opening in the awning, and then you just turn it and it'll crank the awning out for you. Something I didn't need another motor in my life, so it's good to have the crank out. I preferred that. Okay. Going into the closet, you can see I've already got some junk in here, and I hope I can show you. Since this isn't a wide angle lens, I might have to move the camera around, but bear with me here. There's plenty of room in here for several weeks worth of clothes for a guy like me. But also, let's turn a light on. There we go. I've mounted my my aluminum ladder. I had to turn it upside down because this is a curved wall, so I secured it with some Velcro, so that ain't going nowhere. And I have this crock pot and pressure cooker combination thing that I'm going to lug up to the job because we do some cookouts and stuff, and I got to use for that. There's really no good place to go, but shoot, there's so much room in this closet. I got room for all my dirty laundry and this guy. I hung this this broom holder. I put some tools and things in here that I just stuck that with some 3M. Of course, that didn't come with it. Also, a thing to put your little shopping bags in for trash. We got an outlet here, and these are my tank heaters. This is an experimental thing we're doing. This is not an option that they offer, but since I'm such a freak about the cold, we wanted to go ahead and see if this is going to work. So I got 12 volt and 110 volt tank heaters. Since there's an outlet in here, I thought, boy, I can take a printer with me. So this is perfect for this printer and some supplies. And then, of course, there's another shelf. You can put your towels and linens. That's certainly enough for a couple weeks up at the job. And Anyway, so I got my little closet going. Got plenty of room for clothes and coats and everything else. My last RV had a pole that had those little things where you put every hanger in. I hated that to death. I was going to rip it out. I like a good old-fashioned bar. I can move stuff around and stuff it full. So I like that. Anyway, all the closet lights are even, if I can show it to you, LED. All the cabinets have LED lights in them, so you don't have to fish around for what's in the cabinet, because you can see it, because you can light it up. Alright, here's master control switch. I'm going to turn a bunch of lights on because it's kind of dark. Courtesy lights, so in the dark you can see the floor, which is kind of a cool thing. Main cabin lights, all LED, of course. This is a ventilator. Down here in the south, in the summers, it's pretty sweltering. You can turn this ventilator on, and you get more performance, more cold performance out of the refrigerator, out of an absorption type refrigerator. You get all the heat out of that outside storage area or service area. That'll just make it work better. And let's see. Yeah, that's off. Okay, I installed, for my own interest, I installed this 4 sensor system. I bought this online. It's got wireless sensors. This, of course, is the inside temperature. I put one in the LP compartment outside. I've got one under the hull, under the sofa cabinet, so I can get the temperature between the hulls. And then this one, I think, is in the bathroom, just because some people have complained that their bathroom with the door closed gets colder, and I just wanted to see if that's true or not. There is a vent, a heater vent, in the bathroom, so I suspect my issue in there might be a little hotter in the bathroom than colder. So we'll see how that goes. But it's all wireless system, and I've just Velcroed this on. I mean, with this fiberglass, Velcro and your 3M tape are really going to be your friends. You can put anything anywhere, and then if you change your mind, just peel it right off. And that's what I did here with this refrigerator sensor. I put one in the refrigerator, and I put the other in the freezer compartment. So you can see it's working pretty well. It's been on for a day. So that's a good thing to know. Microwave oven, basically standard 1,000-watt microwave oven. That comes standard in stainless from Oliver. It's not a convection. You don't have an oven in one of these things, so that's something to consider. I've kind of got a workaround on that. I'll show you in a minute. 3-way absorption refrigerator, Dinette. It's 5 cubic feet. It's pretty big, especially for me. And fits my Brita picture perfectly. Had a long time to find this guy, but you know, it's a refrigerator. And it has an automatic mode, so you can set it to switch between AC and gas. I think you have to manually put it on battery if you would ever want to run it that way, which I don't recommend, because these absorption fridges use a lot of juice in 12-volt mold. But there may be occasions, if you're traveling, you need to do that because of you turning propane off in tunnels and things like that. I opted, this is an extra cost option. This is the what they call fiber granite countertop finish. And what this is this is gel coated fiberglass, and they gel coat in the modeled finish that I really can't tell the difference between this and the quartz countertops I have in the house. It looks like silestone to me. And it's not granite, though. It's not, you can't put a 600-degree pot on this or use it as a cutting board, because you'll damage it. But it's pretty and it's shiny. It's better than the white finish. I think with just reasonable care, it will hold up for many, many years. You just have to remember that you can't put hot stuff on it. You got to put a pot holder down or something. Okay, the sink. This is a bar sink, actually. It's more than adequate for me. Camco drainer fits perfectly in there, which was a nice surprise. And the change they recently made is this high-rise faucet. It's something actually procured at a Lowe's, but it will fit a pot and should make dishwashing pretty easy. My scheme in here is going to be leave this in the sink. I've got a collapsible bin that I'll wash the dishes in and then rinse them and leave them here in the sink to dry, or I'll dry them. But that seems to be a workable arrangement here. I'm going to turn the rest of the lights on. Okay, and here's your other lighting panel. That's got all the interior house lights, so I've got them all on right now. I did opt for these reading lights. It comes in a package of 4. It's an extra cost, and this is a 110 and USB connectors for charging your cell phones and such. There's 2 of them. There's this one here, this set here, and there's this set under the dinette seat. That is the fuse box distribution panel, which is a standard RV thing. It's progressive dynamics charger and converter. Like I said, there's 4 other lights, and so you have those. You get reading options throughout the coach. What else can I show you here in the kitchen? Let's just kind of work our way back. This is the control for the air conditioning and heating system. You have 3 modes. You have 4 modes. Cool, off. You have gas heat, which is a gas furnace, and then you got electric heat mode, which is your heat strip up in the air conditioning unit. And this really works kind of cool, because if I put it in electric heat mode, it's just not, if it was 40 degrees in here and I set it for like 65, it's going to automatically, as emergency heat, kick on the gas furnace until you get up to within 5 degrees of the temperature you selected. And then the electric heat will take over. Because the electric heat strip, of course, is not going to, put out a tremendous amount of heat to heat this kind of volume. But once it's to temperature, it should be able to maintain it, which I ran it for a week like that, and it never kicked the gas back on. When it was like 40 degrees out, I set it at 65, and it was able to maintain the temperature here without any issues. Paper towel holder I put up there with 3M tape. So you got to have a place. I don't like this floating around on the counter. So that's something I did. Cooktop. Standard piezoelectric start, which means no matches. Gas cooktop. A little bit bigger than I've had in other RVs. It's a little bit bigger than I've had in other RVs, but I expect it to work really well. I mean, there's really nothing to it. Close this up when you don't want to use it. And people may ask, well, gosh, your pillows are right against the cooking surface. Well, yes, they are. But you can easily put them over there. So I'm not sure how I'm going to sleep in this thing. I might sleep that way. I thought maybe I'd sleep watching the TV. But yeah, that's something you need to be cautious of, is having fabrics near cooking. You have to use some caution and common sense. I think we're all grown-ups and can do that. Drawers. 6 amazing drawers instead of a cupboard. Some of you may not like that, but I sure do. First one fits all your utensils really well. I got this bamboo divider, fits perfectly in there, and some things. I'm using one as a junk drawer. Everyone's got to have a junk drawer, right? These are the handles for my pots and pans, some lighters, and you know what all this stuff is. But anyway, that works pretty good. Here's something I'll show you that I really like. I got this knife rack. I like a lot of knives, and so I got a place to put them. This is a spice rack thing that they make that I didn't even have to cut it. It fit perfectly. But you can store your spices. I have a few that I like to carry, and those will fit in there. And then, of course, utensils. And then, they're self-closing if you noticed, just like in the house. And then I have an outside induction cooktop that I like to play with. I'll use that outside. Just plugged in that outside outlet. And, of course, you can have some pot holders and stuff. And then some more odds and ends, and I got a colander to fit perfectly in that sink, and there's my fold-up bin to do dishes in, and a cutting board, and utensils, and just junk I can't imagine anybody's interested in. Up top above the kitchen, you have some pretty amazing storage for such a small RV. Put all your dishes and your kettle, and this is, I highly recommend, this is the Magna ceramic coated, non-stick, induction capable cookware. That's 7 pans right there, 7 pots and pans, all fits in 1 cubic foot, including lids. So that's pricey. They make them for the boating industry, but they really work well, and I like it. And then I'm not much of a paper towel user and disposable user. I think it's more environmentally conscious to have dishes and wash them. So that's what I do. So I have a full assortment of dishes and glasses and cookware and stuff. Alright, of course you have the twin bed arrangement, and what I did that's custom, that you don't get standard, is I got a residential mattress on the one side, which is a memory foam. It appears to be about 1 foot deep. It's really comfortable, very high quality mattress, custom fit, because remember you've got this curve in the back, so it's all perfectly sized to fit this space, and on this side they made up, instead of just leaving me the standard bed cushion, they made this sofa for me. I paid for the mattress, but I think he threw this in just to be nice. But what doesn't come with it are these nasty pillows that I had laying around, or this nasty comforter, which I had probably from when I was in college. But it works in here for now. It's just a camper. But the couch is plenty comfortable, and I wanted it set so I could watch TV. And then on this one I could lay in bed and watch TV. But I think mostly I try not to go to bed too early. If I sit up on the couch, I'll probably stay up later. What else? In the nightstand, you have the drawer. You have a nice deep drawer. You can put, this will probably be a junk drawer too. And here's the fan control. And of course this has the auto close as well. Now, the other arrangement is a U-shaped dinette arrangement. So what you do is you really have like something like this that goes all the way around, and then you have cushions that and a table. You don't have a nightstand there. That's just cushions, so that you can make a big queen or king size bed here by pulling the table down and moving the cushions on. I didn't want to do that every day. I thought this is better for what I'm going to use this trailer for. It's a more workable arrangement. Okay, the standard feature is the day-night shades. Every window has them, so you can open them fully and open the dual pane windows. You can actually see the glass. But you can fully open it, or you can have just your bug screen, or you can have the nightshade and have total darkness. So most of the time I'll be like that. I don't care if somebody looks in the windows. Beautiful 24-inch 1080p LED TV, natively 12 volts. So if you have it on a roadside stop and you got no power, well, your batteries are on, so you can run the TV, which is what's cooler than that. 4 big Jensen speakers goes with the sound system, which is right here. This Furion AM/FM, Bluetooth, USB. It's got a DVD player built into it. It'll rock the house. It gets quite loud, but it's also integrated in the audio cabinet. So there's cables laying there, so you can hook it up to if you have another Blu-ray player or whatever, and get the sound throughout the rig through this. But this is 12 volt, of course, too, so you can play it at the side of the road. This cabinet is an audio cabinet here at the end of the trailer. What I have done is I've got my Dish TV receiver plugged in here. I bought a Blu-ray smart DVD player. It'll play Blu-ray discs, but it'll also stream Netflix and Amazon Prime and a bunch of other stuff. I had to put this HDMI switch to, it auto switches. It gets the power off of this by connecting to the HDMI port. They send power through it, so there's no outlet needed. Of course, I have my 2 outlets in here, and then this is the TV antenna jack, and that coaxial goes down to the TV. But that's where you turn that on and off. Notice I got room for an Xbox or to store some Blu-rays in here, and you can see what a nerd I am. What I got in here. But anyway, there's room for more in here, and it doesn't seem to be getting warm in here. I've had this on all day. Okay, so got cabinets over the bed, nice deep cabinet, and you can put a lot of stuff. I'll probably put some little baskets in here and put some clothing items in here. It's very much like a boat, all that sealed area. So you see there's the switches there. You open this guy up and you can get to the wiring back there. That's a really good idea. It's very thoughtful. And then of course it goes way back, but we got the same thing on the other side. Notice it's also lighted. But you got a nice over here too. I might put a quilt or something up in here for those cold afternoons. Alright, what else? Okay, coming down this side, we've got a huge pantry locker. And what I like about this is this will hold several weeks worth of dry goods. I just have a few things. I'm got to load up my I've got some paper plates. I might as well use them or throw them away. I don't know. Yeah, this will hold a lot of dry goods and more than enough for a couple people for a good long trip. But I like that you can put all your food in one place. You don't have it stuffed in all little cabinets all over the rig. Alright, here's a set of controls that include some extra cost items. This is the inverter. This is Cotec and 2000 watt pure sine wave inverter. This is the on-off switch. And solid red, okay, tells you that it's working properly. Anyway, this inverter, it's located below the seat here. It's 2000 watts, and it will provide power, take 12 volt power and convert it to 110 for use if you're boondocking or on the side of the road or something, a rest stop. It will power everything in the coach except for the air conditioner. The air conditioner is just too big of an appliance for this kind of inverter and battery capacity I have. Remember, the batteries are 400 amp hours, which is a lot, but you know, an air conditioner and including the microwave will draw it down pretty quickly. But this will power all the interior outlets, including the outlet there for the DVD player and the Blu-ray player and the satellite decoder, so you could run those. You don't need it for the TV or the audio system, of course. But the outlet under the dinette and the outlet in the kitchen, and it'll run the microwave oven, and it'll run the well, I guess that's about it. So basically, like I said, everything but the air conditioner. This is the Blue Sky solar controller, and it's fully programmed by Oliver for me. You know, they've sold these before, and I think through trial and error with other customers, and of course with the engineering know-how at AM Solar, they figured out how to set this up. But you can change your different types of charging profiles, including there's a mode to equalize the batteries, which you do periodically. But as you can see, my inputs and my outputs, I need to read on how this is all programmed. So far it's holding up fairly well, keeping the batteries topped off. I don't have any issues there, but we'll see. I got to read the materials and then see if I want to make any changes to the program or features, but it gives you a good idea where the battery is, and it'll give you a countdown on the amp hours actually, which might be very useful. See, there you can equalize the batteries if you want to, but you dive into this menu to make changes, and I'm not really wanting to do that. Okay, here are the standard, you know, if you buy standard packages, is what you get. You got your battery indicator, and you've got your fresh water percentage 94%, so it's nearly full. My gray water has 13% in it, so you'd say 13% of the 35 gallons. And then the black is 0, of course, because I was telling the truth when I said I haven't used the bathroom yet. The LP, you could connect these to the LP tanks, but they don't. It's an open circuit. Okay, and then over here you have a switch for your inside courtesy lights, which are the lights at the bottom here. Your water pump on and off. Of course, if you connect it to city water service, you want that off. And then your water heater. Now, if this is on, it's going to fire in gas mode. In the outside compartment I showed you, there's a switch there to engage the 110 mode of the water heater. So when you turn this on, then it would be a 110 water heater. So you got to just choose how you want to run. The gas has a far superior recharge time, so if you need a lot of hot water right now, you'd want it to be in gas. If you don't use a lot of hot water and you've got time for it to recycle, then put it in 110 mode. I don't think that'll run off the inverter. That would be unusual, and it would certainly draw the battery capacity down quite quickly, I would think. Any heating element is going to do that. Okay. The dinette. This dinette makes into a bed. So if you want to take a grandkid along with you or something, this would be a perfect place for them to sleep, because you remove this from the wall and you set it in this well between the seats. Take the post out, of course, and then you put the cushions down and you got a little bed. Under this is bolted. You can't get in there. There's the power converter, electrical gizmos in there, so there's no access there. Under this cushion, there is a small access area. And what you have in here, you can see I have one of these convection oven things that I'm going to carry with me, that on those rare occasions I want to bake a chicken or something, I can put it in there. And I got my grill pan. It's a cast iron grill pan. That's a wonderful thing to have. You use it on the stovetop and grill when it's nasty outside. Works really well. But anyway, you got your automatic relay switch in here. You've got your dump valves. It's a happy dump valve. So this is all your access. That's the black tank, I believe, right there. And so this is a nice, about 17-inch deep space. You can put, soft goods in here. You can put whatever we want. But you can see your insulation is exposed here. All this foil insulation, and I like that you can get to everything that you need to get to. And there's another outlet here under the seat. Plug in a laptop. But anyway, these are non-slide pads, so that you can put this cushion in here and it won't slide around on you when you're underway. Although when I drove, it didn't move a bit, because the trailer is so smooth and so soft, such a good suspension, that it doesn't bang around in here. I don't suspect, because I didn't find a lot of stuff moved around. Now, above the dinette, you have more storage. You can see I got a toaster for some reason, and a bunch of dishware. I got a little coffee machine and a rice cooker, and the pasta boat, and salad spinner. I got all kinds of crap in here. But you can see, if you pick your stuff right, it'll fit. Now, two things in here that are extra cost items you might be interested in are the Wi-Fi booster and the cellular booster. So when you're in areas with weak service, like the campground Wi-Fi, you want to draw it in and use it inside here, or your cellular signal, these two boxes. This is the cellular amplifier. This is the Wilson, and they wired up for me. It runs on 12 volts, so you can use it on the side of the road. But this will boost the Wi-Fi, the cellular, and it runs down to this antenna here. So if you're sitting like in here with your phone or Wi-Fi hotspot, like a MiFi, it's going to work great. This is your Ranger, and this works with a device on the roof called the Sky, which is basically an outside antenna. This has its own antenna, so it can draw its own signals. But you go on your laptop and you go to the page that controls this thing, and you can pick which of the networks it finds, and then it acts as a repeater in here. So like I have my printer connected to this, so that becomes constant. This is the same network. But you have the option of connecting to any outside network and using that as your Wi-Fi signal. So you can use your, one of those MiFi boxes or Jetpack, or you can use the campground Wi-Fi or some other Wi-Fi that you have available to you. Like I found 20 networks in my neighborhood, so all my neighbors' Wi-Fi I could get on with, I guess, if I wanted to do such a crazy thing. I put this Velcro on here to I have a Jetpack, and I'm going to just mount it right there, so that it's got a USB port in it, so I can use that as my power connector to keep it charged. But also, it's a good place to mount it, and I can use it here in the rig. So anyway, so that's that. Okay. Okay, let's other under access. Under here, you have an access port for. This is where the solar controller is. That's the Blue Sky solar controller system. You've got a variety of shut-off switches. You can turn all the battery. Great. Okay, under here, under the sofa, you have the access for the solar setup and some other things. This is your Blue Sky solar controller that runs to that control panel I showed you. This is the brains of the operation for taking the solar power and charging up your batteries. Of course, you have there's 3 cutoff switches. One cuts off the solar system, and the others are all the internal 12 volt in the trailer. So you can pretty much isolate your battery pack from being discharged if you put this in storage. You can see everything's professionally mounted, secure board there, and you can see I put my temperature sensor in there, one of the wireless ones. Of course, you've got a variety of cabling and the piping for the outside shower. Notice that's all stainless reinforced. This is the mechanism for the jack. You can see that's the motor mechanism that sticks up inside this place, and it's all heavily bolted. I got a cube heater I'm storing in here in case I need to use it next winter, so I thought I'd just put it in there. That'd be a good place for it. And that's the hose for the shower. It should probably be unobstructed. Anyway, also over here you have the let's get these out of here. These cushions are making a mess. You have the outside storage compartment access. So see, I can get into some things, and instead of having to go outside to get them, maybe I don't know what you'd put in there that you'd want to get to, but you might. And let's see, let's put these back. Okay, and then I'll show you under the bed. It's a little bit more difficult to get to, but there's some access under here, and that's where the furnace and the water heater are. They bolt it down so you can't get in there. And then this is where your valves to do the winterization are. Here's where your water pump is, and then there's the other jack mechanism, and then you can see beyond there, that's the water heater, I believe. And then you got furnace duct running down. This going to your other vent locations around the trailer, but it's also, some heat's going to permeate through that duct and keep the inside between the holes to a warm temperature. See, that one was running over here. And then let's go into the bathroom. And what you have in here is a one-piece wet style bath, and it's fairly roomy. It's about 30 inches deep by probably, I don't know, almost 4 feet wide. It's got a nice countertop and a stainless sink. This is your shower. This is a heavy handle, and it does a spray or a stream, like I showed before. And you got shut off, like you can do your Navy style showers, but also you can change it to a stream or a shower. And okay, you can hear the water pump running. I got these cheap milk glass type of holders in a soap dispenser at Walmart. I thought that looked kind of nice. And a trash can and a toilet brush. I got those at Walmart as well. And this rug. How this works is this drains into the gray tank, of course, as you would expect. But because these tanks are long and narrow, they have this backflow preventer. So when you're traveling, you close that, and then the water can't splash and come up this drain. Now, if you forget to open it and you turn the water on, it's going to fill the pipe and then start to flow in the shower pan. So you'll know if you're not set up right. But all you do is open this guy back up, and it'll drain right back. But trailers moving back and forth, that's just one of the design considerations, I suppose, for the way this is rigged up. Of course, the standard Aria toilet. I don't have to show you anything about that. You've got built-in shampoo storage. I guess this is a towel bar to be used. Up here, this is where you hook the shower if you want to take a stand-up shower. And you got a hook. I might hang my toiletry bag from there. You've got a ventilator for when you're showering or other things. Get the air moving out of this room. You've got lighted storage compartment. You put your dry goods and they'll stay dry while you're in here showering. I imagine you have to be kind of disciplined to keep this wiped down, otherwise it's going to get kind of funky in here, but it's all nice smooth finish. Should be no trouble keeping this fairly clean, actually. You have a around a 30-gallon gray tank, and you've got about an 18-gallon poop tank. So, you know, I think you're going to probably run out of fresh water before you fill these tanks up. But anyway, that's the bathroom. That's about everything. I don't know what else to show you. But oh, the Max Air ventilator. Let me show you that. You got this remote, and you turn this on, and like I said, it opens up, and it'll draw quite a bit of air out of here. But you notice you still have weather protection with that cover on the outside. I don't think it's too noisy. You've got this is the air conditioner unit. It's typical remote control style air conditioner. Blows out. It doesn't have ducted air conditioning. None of these little fiberglass trailers have that kind of thing. But I've run it, and it sounds pretty quiet. In fact, you can hear the sound of the vent fan. This supposedly has a rain sensor to shut itself off, and you can set it to come on and off at temperature. It's got a lot of programmable features, which I kind of like. I'll turn the air conditioner on so you get a sense of the sound. It might not go because I'm hooked up on a drop cord. But let's see if it'll go. Let's see if it'll come on. Yeah. Now that is running. I'm connected to a 15 amp outlet in my garage. So that tells you something right there. That's what you call a soft start. Yep, they're noisy. That's the way they are. But it's not too bad. Now if I turn on the let's turn it over to heat and I'll show you how loud the furnace is. It's fairly quiet. So you can hear the furnace blower. It's very quiet. Alright, and then if you turn electric heat, you're not going to hear anything. Yeah, you can hear the overhead. You can hear the overhead. This will blow, and it's not as loud as the air conditioner, but you can hear both it and the furnace blower. Now when it gets, like I said before, when it would get to 5 degrees from the setting I had, then the gas will turn off and then all you'll hear is this. But it's something to consider. This is a noise. Alright. Now that blower is going to blow out the rest of the hot air, and then it'll shut itself off. One last thing I'd like to mention is your color choices. One of the things about Oliver that you can do with them is you pick a lot of your colors. So not everyone will have this. You may think this upholstery is nasty, but I like it. And but you have a variety of colors to choose from, and you can also provide your own fabric. You can buy it and send it to them, and they will make up your cushions, whatever you like to have. This flooring, this linoleum flooring, there's like, I don't know, 8 or 10 different choices you can get. I picked this along with the fabric, and there are 4 choices of this fiber granite color scheme you can get. So this was my idea of what I wanted to have, and it may not be yours, but you could have any colors you want. That's one of the nice things about a custom trailer. And like I said, I hope that I will get a better comforter, so please don't comment on that. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this very long review of the 2015 Oliver twin bed travel trailer. I've shown you a lot of standard and extra cost features. I think the best way to get a trailer configured the way you like it is to visit the Oliver site and call them up, and they'd be happy to talk to you about what would be your perfect trailer and work up a price for you and get it built. What I did mention earlier is every one of these is built to order. You won't find them on lots. You're not going to be able to meander through a bunch of trailers. You can go to the factory and tour it and look at some trailers in progress. That's a pretty cool thing to do. But if you want something to your specifications, something of very high quality, and fully featured, I highly recommend it. I'm very happy with it so far. I'll report down the road how it works out, but I've had a lot of travel trailers in my time, and none of them have impressed me like this one has. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave me a thumbs up, a thumbs down, positive or negative comments. I will listen to it all. I'm not a professional at this, but I hope you enjoyed it and it's useful for you in making a decision as to what you want. Thank you.